off the bat. Big old loud motorcycle going by. The big old American flags flying off the back. Happy Friday. Friday, Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Road to ROCovery 5K coming at you. Facebook Live. Friday, Juneteenth. If you're not familiar with what Juneteenth is, go look it up. This is a very important holiday, one that we all should be celebrating in this country. Wait for some more people to log on. Sorry, eating a banana. Banana is really good for calf cramps, for your legs, and potassium, and amazing things. Hey Mo, happy Juneteenth. Welcome. I have a cool little video clip for you guys today, like I did last time. I forget what it's called. Brandon, good afternoon. It is afternoon, right? Yes, it is. It's 1 minute afternoon. What's the video clip called? Beginner's tips for running. Anyway. It's cool. It gives like 5 or 6 running tips. Again, really good reminders for those of us who have been running for a while, and really good tips and suggestions for those that are just starting out. So next week is the 26th, and it's also going to mark the beginning of our program, the Couch to 5K program. The almost famous ROCovery Fitness Couch to 5K program. I think I put that in the description of our video today. So that'll start next week, but I have to pre-record the video because I'm going to be in the mountains next weekend, starting very early Friday morning, driving up at like 2 in the morning to the Adirondacks. Going to hike all weekend. Can't wait. It's been months. We usually try and go once a month or once every couple months, and it's been quite a few months. So as soon as campground started opening up, we just booked a site for a couple of days, and we're going. So actually got a couple of trips scheduled right now. I'm really excited. So anyway, I digress. I'm going to pre-record the video for next week, and next week what I'm going to do is give you the program for the following week, what the homework is, kind of a thing. But again, really manageable, really easy to start with. Just going to be some intervals, some very, very easy and accessible intervals to start with. So, but that'll start next week. Looking forward to that. So it's typically a 9-week program, but I'm extending it to 11 weeks. So we're going to make it even more manageable for folks that want to get into running. I'll repeat a couple of weeks, particularly at the beginning, just to make it really accessible and really manageable. So we'll do an 11-week program, and that'll lead us right up to our 6th annual ROCovery 5K, which is going to happen virtually this year, which is great because it'll actually give us an opportunity to engage people all over the world. You can join us from anywhere, obviously being virtual. And we're adding a really cool new feature this year. You're going to have the opportunity to run all 4 trails that we've done up to this point. So even though it's our 6th annual, we've done 4 different locations now. So over the first 5 years, we did Seneca Park twice. So it's Genesee Valley, Seneca Park, Durand Eastman Park, and then Mendon Ponds we did last year. So all 4 trails is going to be an option. It's called the Quad Trail Challenge, and we're adding that this year. So details are coming out soon. Registration will be open up very, very soon. Should be within the next couple of few days. So you'll be able to register for that race. We're going to do cool things where we're the Strava Run group that I started. join our Strava Run group. Again, I'm going to post that in the comments after the video. So we can watch each other's runs, watch each other's training progress. The day of the race, we can see each other's maps, where everyone ran, no matter where you are in the world. We can view your 5K maps. There's going to be extra swag for the Quad Trail Challenge for those of you that are local to Rochester and want to do all 4 previous trails. We're going to have a cool commemorative shirt just for you folks that register for that one, and some extra cool little things to go along with that. So got some really cool things, and it's happening the weekend of September 12th and 13th, so across the whole weekend. So we don't have to cram everything into just a couple hours one morning. We have the whole weekend to do it, and it's going to be really fun. So again, Couch to 5K program. This is how many years have we done this now? 3 or 4 anyways, but always a great program. And again, I've seen so many people really become runners with this program. It's done some amazing things for folks. So hope you can join us. I hope, there's a lot of excitement out there around it, around folks wanting to start running who maybe haven't run before. I knew you would be, Mo. I'm in for the Quad Trail. Yes. I knew you would be. It's going to be amazing. So we'll have 2 days to do them. So you could do all 4 in one day, or split it up amongst the 2 days to do all 4 trails. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. But again, I got a quick little video to show you guys if you want to take a look. And I'll have another one next week too on the pre-record that I do for the first week of the Couch to 5K program. I will have another little video clip segment in that as well. This resource that I found is really, really pretty awesome for tips and things like that around your running. So take a look at this here, and I'm going to play it now, and then I'll be back right after.
Right then, whilst out running, who experiences those inner thoughts to stop? Yeah, I'd imagine a fair few of you out there, myself included, and I've been running for years. Now, unfortunately, there is no escaping the fact that running is pretty tiring business, but that's also what makes it so good for improving fitness, for improving health, and for some, a really good method for managing weight. It's also just great fun. So today, I'm going to be sharing 6 tips to help you run without getting tired. Okay, before you actually begin running, you want to think about a warm-up. Now, you probably had this drilled into you as a kid back at sports practice or in school, and I'm going to be preaching it to you today as well too. I'm very sorry, but don't expect to head out of the door and start running at full tilt. Your body will not know what's hit it. Ideally, you want to allow yourself a few minutes prior to the run where you do a little bit of light mobility or a little bit of light dynamic stretching, and then when you do actually start running, just build into it really gradually, maybe over the first 5 minutes, starting from a nice easy pace and building up. The same applies for the end of the run. Don't just go from full gas to nothing in a split second. You want to bring that pace down gradually, again, ideally over the final 5 minutes. And then when you are finished, body is nice and warm, muscles are warm, use that time to do some stretching. All right, my next tip is breathing. Obviously, you all know how to breathe. Oddly though, this does cause a few issues when it comes to running. Now, you may have heard people talking about breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Fine for light exercise, such as yoga, not so good for running. Now, your muscles need oxygen to be able to keep functioning and to keep moving. Now, you get more oxygen in through your mouth per breath than you do through your nose. That's not to say you should never use your nose, but as the pace picks up or the intensity picks up, I definitely recommend switching to breathing in through your mouth. Okay, but it's the rhythm of the breathing that really gets people. Now, at a comfortable running pace, I'd normally suggest something along the lines of a 2x2 or a 3x3 rhythm. So essentially, breathing in for 2 or 3 strides, and then exhaling for 2 or 3 strides. And then as the pace picks up or the intensity picks up, switch to a 2-by-1 rhythm. So breathe in for 2 strides, exhale for 1 stride. Okay, it goes without saying you need to be healthy and in okay shape to be able to run. So the usual standards apply. Try to limit the amount of junk food. Make sure you stay hydrated, drinking plenty of water, and staying on top of that fruit and veg that we're always told to do. Because at the end of the day, a well-balanced diet will go a long way in terms of keeping us healthy and also keeping our weight down or managed well, which in turn will make running easier. Now, that hydration point is really important because our body alone is actually made up of 60% water. The blood, 93% water, and our muscles 73% water. So needless to say, hydration is pretty darn important. So prior to run, you want to make sure you've drunk plenty, and then when you come back from run, you're replenishing that water as quickly as possible. Okay, one of the biggest complaints I hear with running is the pacing. In other words, gauging how hard you go over the certain distance that you're hoping to cover. Now, let's be clear here. Heading out of the door and trying to set a PB on every single run over a certain distance or a course that you regularly do is not a very good idea. In fact, that's a very quick way of losing your enjoyment of running. So if you follow advice on doing a nice good warm-up and building into things, then focusing on holding that nice comfortable and sustainable pace, you should be on to a winner. If you still feel the urge to stop, just back the pace off slightly, allow yourself time to recover. If still you feel that urge to stop, then just drop it down to a walk. There's nothing wrong with doing brief periods of walking. I still do it on my occasional runs. And what it does do is it allows me then to just reset, refocus, recover, and crack on and get my run done without cutting it short. All right then, what about technique? Well, clearly having good form, posture and technique will go a long way towards staving off your fatigue mid-run and towards the end of your run. But technique is a pretty big topic and probably deserves a video in itself, which fortunately we do have. And I'll pop it up at the end of this one so you can head on over and check that out. But in essence, having good technique will help you to run more efficiently. In other words, trying to use your energy more wisely rather than wasting it. Now, I'll share a couple of quick tips with you today, one of which is in terms of stride length. A lot of people overstride, so just try and focus on keeping that cadence and turn over the legs nice and quick. Also, try to keep your head, your shoulders and your arms nice and relaxed so the arms come through nice and freely. And then try to look around 20 to 30 meters ahead of you when you're running, rather than looking up in the sky or straight down at the ground. And then as you really fatigue, a nice cue that's helped me over the years at least is try to think about pointing with your knees. So you get a nice knee drive and then focus on flicking your heels up towards your hamstrings. All right, my final couple of tips for you, one of which is have fun, enjoy it. Running is one of the simplest forms of exercise. All you need is a pair of running shoes and off you go. Also, don't start out by doing a run every single day. I'd advise, if you are new to running, doing 1 day on, 1 day off. And as you progress, maybe going to 2 days on, 1 day off. Also, find a running buddy. It's great for motivating you and getting you out the door, particularly on those days when you're just struggling to do that, even if it's just your dog. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Make sure you give it a like. And if you'd like to see more from GTN, just follow us on social media or on the YouTube channel.
So great video, some really great tips in there, especially the part about keeping it fun. Don't get too wound up in pace and all that other stuff. And also, you know, taking lots of breaks. So don't try and get out there and start running every single day. You know, go day on, day off. Of course, our Couch to 5K program pretty much is geared that way anyways. So you pretty much follow the program. And again, it's really, really pretty accessible to start out with. There's a lot of walk breaks. And even he says, you know, and I do that as well. I'll take walk breaks during my runs all the time. And every time I've gotten, and I've talked about this a number of times, but just in case this is the first time you've seen one of my feeds on running, you know, every time I stop running and sort of concentrate on more of a strength training program when I get back into running again, I really rely on intervals a lot, in a lot of walk breaks, whether it be, again, I think one really good tip, if you've got telephone poles around or any kind of regular measurement, running or jogging between 2 telephone poles and then between the next 2 walking, or you do it timed, or however you want to do it, just intervals to make it accessible. And then you just start to progress again over time, making small incremental changes, whether you increase your running time or you increase your distance or you increase, just making small incremental changes. You look back over a period of time, which it does, it takes time and you've got to be patient. Look back over time and all of a sudden, you've made vast improvements. Mo says, great tips. I'm still working on my stride, small changes, working on my breathing too. Yeah, so stride is something that definitely helps a lot. And actually, you mentioned something on the comments on another feed some time ago that reminded me in working on my stride and engaging your glutes. So he talked in that video clip about keeping your knees straight, and that's good too. And what that helps to do is also engage your glutes, keeping your stride shorter, so you're not heel striking. In the book that I mention a lot that is amazing, and if you're into running at all, you should definitely get it, called Born to Run. And, within that book, not only does he tell some really interesting stories, but has some really great running tips. And in regards to stride, particularly with trail running, when you're between a couple of rocks or between a couple of roots, and the choices between 1 or 2 strides, choose 3. So in other words, like, the point to that is, and it's a really simple memory aid, and I think of it all the time when I'm out there, but it just reminds me to keep my stride shorter, because what happens is when your strides are longer, you heel strike a lot more. When you heel strike, that actually wears on you. It just, your endurance, your fatigue will increase with more heel striking in your run. So keeping your stride shorter. And I also have a run partner who really has a very short run stride. So when I hear her running next to me, and I hear how quick those how quick her pace is, and how long mine is, it reminds me I'm probably heel striking, even though it's hard to identify when you're doing it. It definitely affects your overall fatigue. And then your breathing, also really, really important, as well as Mo mentions. Taking nice deep breaths when you need to, because your body, your muscles, everything, you need that oxygen. So great things to work on, Mo, and great reminders as well. And thank you again for that reminder about engaging your glutes. That helps keep your core tight and your backside tight, which and lead with your hips too when you're running. So don't forget to really engage your whole body in the run. I think we tend to just rely on our legs, and that obviously will get tired very, very quickly. So as I said, next week we will start the Couch to 5K program. I will pre-record, and it will go live next Friday at noon. And what that will contain is the homework for the week, probably another video clip of some helpful tips from our English friends. This YouTube resource that I found there is really, really helpful, not just for the 5K, but for half marathons as well. This weekend I'm going to be running a lot. My half marathon training program is starting to ramp up right now. So I've got a 5-mile run and a 10-mile run to do this weekend. So that'll be fun too. Just getting out in the woods and having a good time with that. Again, just like the guy said at the end of the video there, you really want to make sure it's something you're continuing to enjoy. If it's too much work, you're working too hard. Just get out there, enjoy the day, enjoy the weather. It's so beautiful. It's been beautiful, and have some fun. I hope to see you guys next week. Thanks for joining me today. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning at 7:30 for my Life on the Run, Lessons from the Road, aka Coffee with Dad. And we'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Peace.